Hello! Welcome to another episode of Cooking with Heather. We're going to make some unique hamburgers today. What we're going to do first, I've already done it, is I've put the hamburger in a bowl. And we're just going to... There we go. And now we're going to add something else that'll make the patties interesting. We're going to add smoky maple pink salmon portions that have been pre-thawed. Just simply because I can. And you know what? I'm not going to fry them. I'm going to bake them because baking hamburgers is healthier, and I think that eating healthier is quite wise, and it's good for you, and there's no shame in eating healthy, really. There isn't any shame in it. So what we're going to do is just tear the salmon apart. We're just going to throw it in there and make it squish. And part of the meat, if you're afraid to touch meat, then you've got no business saying you're a chef. I mean, there are vegetarian chefs, but to learn to cook properly, you have to touch meat at least once. Put some more salmon in there. I'm going to loosen it up first. These are pink salmon portions. You can get them at Walmart for people who are worried about budgets. I think I got it for like $1.98 or something like that. Just squash a couple of them up. You don't need a ton. But make sure they're squished and sift the meat in. And once you're done with that, you gotta rinse those hands because you've got a bunch of meat on them. And really, that's somewhat disgusting to have meat on your hands and keep cooking, so just get rid of it. Alright, put a little oil in there. A little olive oil. Olive oil is healthy. Just a dollop. And now, put some seasoning salt, of course. And now we're going to put a little bit of hash brown in. You know those little hash browns in the box? That you can cook real easy. We're going to do that now. It's going to be fun. Has anybody ever had hash browns in their burgers? Well, you are today, just because I said so. So there we go, there's the hash browns. And you just sift them and crunch them into the burger. And I bet you're asking what we're going to do for flavor, hey? We'll just crunch those. What we're going to do for flavor, we've already got the salmon in there, but we can add a bit more. It's something I like to use for salads, a bit of raspberry vinaigrette. if we can get the bottle open. To dry the hands because they're so slippery. But we don't want to use too much of this, simply because it is oily, so we have to be very careful about how much we actually use. There's that. Very careful, just a few drops. A bit. And then we put it in the fridge, never to be seen from, or heard from again. And then yes, we have to do this with our hands as normal. To be very creative with this. Alright. So, what are we going to put in there next? Probably nothing. Although, personally, I'd like to see what a tad of goat cheese does in there. So we're going to try it. And then we're also going to use the goat cheese for something fun later on. So what we're doing is squeezing a tad of goat cheese out, just a tad, like that much. Throwing it in there and scattering it around. And you ask, why are you not using regular cheese? Well, guess what? I've got food allergy to dairy, so I have to use goat cheese. Because it's here, because my mom got some at Costco the other day and she shared it. Good for mom. And so that's what we're going to do with that. Add a tad more seasoning. Flip it around one more time. And you know what? We're going to bake it and not fry it because frying is very unhealthy. And because, you know what? I'm getting older. I've got this medical thing called endometriosis that is very hard on my body some days. So we're just going to try and eat a little bit healthier. We roll it and we flatten it a bit. They're awkward looking burgers because really, to be very honest, I don't make burgers all that often. So if they're a little imperfect, that's fine. But I'll get better at them over time, I'm sure. So we're just going to try very hard to do our best and make good burgers. But you know what? Before we do that, we have to grease it a bit. You can scold me for not doing this sooner. But we don't want the patties sticking. Oh no. We're going to pray that these burgers actually turn out nice. And we're going to pray that these don't fall apart like the last ones I made. I'm not the expert at making burgers, you know. And I've never baked them before. So, this is a giant journey of experimentation that you and I are going on. Honored that you're joining me. You have to be very careful in rounding it. I'm only going to do a few right now, just to see how they turn out. See how I'm treating it with my hands? You have to treat it like that. I mean, if I don't use the rest of this, I may just freeze it. All right, they're a bit tiny, but again, and we're going to experiment a little more with the goat cheese. Put a tiny bit on top, just maybe a tap of finger, nothing huge. Because I mean, people with food allergies have to have some sort of fun, don't they? I've preheated my oven. And so now we get to wait. Look at those. Now we get to wait while they cook. Hopefully they'll cook very well and it'll look nice. So I'm putting them in the oven. Hopefully they cook. See you in a bit. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is what the burgers look like, isn't it? That looks so good, doesn't it? So we'll just put them over on top of the stove and turn the oven off because they look divine. My gosh, I actually cooked successful burgers. Experimentation does work. Okay, so we'll leave the oven mitt to the side because we'll need it. What we're going to do now is get some quinoa bread because I don't have any buns, first of all. And quinoa bread is so much healthier than hamburger buns. Quinoa bread has nutrients and it's good for your health. I don't know a whole lot about quinoa bread. No artificial flavors or colors. And it's got dietary fibers and other things people need to be able to be healthy. Hamburger buns come and go, but making burgers on quinoa bread is a rarity. Have fun with that one. Because, I mean, people don't take care of themselves as much as they should these days, and that's why we have a huge problem in North America and all over the world with obesity. Now, I'm not saying the Biggest Loser is a cure for obesity. It's definitely not. That's harmful to actual obesity, but you can see now that I'm dolloping the ketchup on, not very much. And now we're gonna put some relish on. I don't like mustard personally. You can have mustard if you want. Just a dollop of relish. Cucumbers are important. Cucumbers are a vegetable. We need more vegetables in our diet. You can slice this open with a knife. You can take it out. I'll catch crap from my mom if I don't use a cutting board. So I'm using a cutting board. Make them nice and thin slices. Do you see how I'm doing this here? Cousin, I would catch crap from my mom because I haven't used cutting boards in past episodes of Cooking with Heather simply because I haven't had them. And I've caught crap. She's always said, use a cutting board. So, there, Mom, I used a cutting board. Are you happy? But now, we're going to put the cucumber in the fridge because we're done with it. I honestly don't eat as much cucumber as I should. And you know what? We're also going to cut a chunk and then save it for when we put the cucumber in the fridge. I mean, it's all about recycling things that we want to use later. Let's just make this even right here. See how I'm doing this? This is very difficult, so don't do it unless you know what you're doing because you don't want to chop your hands off. These are shavings. We can put the cucumbers on the burger, press them down so they stay. One layer there. Time to get a patty. There it is. Time to get a hamburger patty. Time to get a good looking hamburger patty. They're small, but they're good looking. They're very small, but they're very good looking, and I'm very pleased that this didn't turn out to be a disaster. Okay. Just rip them in half. And we cut this in half. We can have cucumbers surrounding the burger. It's sort of cool, isn't it? I'll pull you in for a closer look in a minute as soon as I... And then we're going to get some goat cheese. You see this? Good amount. It's about as big as the burger. You're going to flatten it like a pancake and place it on top of the burger. You don't want to overwhelm the burger. You want to cover the burger though. Wash your hands after you handle cheese. And you want to, I don't have any real bacon bits, but this will do. You want to put some bacon bits on the top for flavoring. And you can sprinkle some under the other bun of the burger. mean, I don't have fries or anything because I am trying to eat healthier, but you can put cucumbers here just for the sake of healthy eating. It's fine. And you can also sprinkle a tiny bit of relish if it'll come out. This is how you make a healthy burger made with meat, goat cheese, cucumbers, pork and beef mixed, and mixed with salmon that's got a lovely tangy taste to it. Some bacon bits, and you know, this is very healthy. Honestly, it is. You can still have your favorite foods. And as for the other cucumbers, they can be a nice little side so you're not wasting food. You can put dressing or whatever you want on them. Squash the burger down. Cut it in half. There you go. There's a very special, healthy HLC burger. I suppose I should name it after myself, eh? Why not? This has been Cooking with Heather, encouraging a more healthy approach to eating, because with healthy eating, you'll have less health problems. Not guaranteed, but you might have a better chance at being healthier and living longer. Have a lovely, fascinating day.